Peace. It's Nitty Scott up here rocking with Jen from Brooklyn at Hot 97, and we keeping the ladies first.
Hey, what's going on? She go Jen from Brooklyn. Another episode of Ladies First, and I've been trying to get this dope ass MC because she doesn't like to be called a rapper on Ladies First on the show. I'm just gonna let her introduce herself because she has so much to say, and she is just there's a lot of things about her that people may not know. So I'm excited to have her here to let you know what she's about. Nitty Scott MC, what's going on, girl?
I'm in here, man. I'm chilling. What up, Peace Coast Chilluminati? We are out here.
That's right, and she came a long way, mind you. We had issues on the train and all that. Damn,
yes,
MTA,
we did.
Right?
We did. Screw the MTA. Take forever. One day I'm gonna have my personal driver, but we grinding for now.
It's gonna happen. Plus Mercury's in retrograde. That's another reason.
It happens.
But anyway, looking super fly, Nitty.
Thank you.
I guess just putting you on the show. Obviously, the show is about women empowerment, self-made women, and you embody all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna ramble on because you're gonna talk about it yourself. So what I do is I ask the women that come on the show to submit 3 things that made them the women they are today. So it could be an item, it could be an imagery, it could be a song, it could be whatever. So we're gonna kick things off with the first thing.
Let's do it.
Let's look at the screen. Your school out in Florida, OCL. Am I saying that right?
Well, we call it OXA, OCSA.
Okay.
It's short for OCSA, the Osceola County School for the Arts.
In Orlando, Florida.
That is the dance teacher, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams.
Which is amazing. Yeah, I'm like, look at Mr. Williams. But, with the ballerinas, I went to art school. I was a creative writing major. And it changed my life. Like, it really did. Like, I really recommend, I strongly suggest for parents who have children who appear to be artistically inclined, and maybe start to show some interest or some skill there, to put them in art school so that they can nourish that talent, because I wouldn't be the artist that I am today without it, without being surrounded by other artistry. That was a really big thing that it cultivated my artsiness, you know what I mean? The environment was very tolerant. It was so tolerant, especially for a high school. When you think of high school, you think of bullies and cliques and just kind of the most immature things that you can think of. And it's not that we didn't have that, but I think we just had this kind of elevated sort of goal, and because of that, a lot of things were just very much accepted. So there were gay guys and gay girls, there were a lot of different races, there were weirdo kids who expressed themselves with face paint, piercings, whatever the case may be. So it was just like this very inclusive world, and I think it helped to instill those things in me, where I am very tolerant of others. I'm very big on supporting just people that come from all different walks of life, and I think that really came from being in an art school environment. And yeah, it was really one of the most amazing things ever. I have just the most warm, fuzzy memories about art school, like. Yeah. And
growing up out in Orlando, Florida, that's where you grew up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Orlando, but is this common to kind of have, this artsy, creative world out in that city? Or is it kind of low key? What made you kind of take the jump to go to this school versus going to a regular public school?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much artsy as there's a lot of talent, I think, in the Orlando area, where you have Disney and Universal and all of these like huge corporations and stuff that kind of it's always been a mecca, even like in like the pop era of like Britney and NSYNC and all that stuff, and like Mickey Mouse Club. It was all like Orlando based. So I feel like I grew up in that, like where it's just like I'm doing beauty pageants. I was like on this game show out there.
What game show?
It was called Go For It, and it was hosted by Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Oh,
I mean, I was
well,
like this big.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was like a obstacle course show.
Did you win?
No, I didn't win.
Okay.
At all. It was really hard. I remember trying to climb up something, and it was a wrap. I was like, I can't. But so just being in Orlando where there's just like so much talent and stuff. I worked at Disney as a character performer.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, I did like Chip and Dale and Winnie the Pooh, and then I did the princesses as well. So I did like Jasmine and Pocahontas.
Wait, so you had to sing their songs, or you just had to kind of act them out?
No, you have to. You don't actually you don't use your voice because they're very strict about making sure that everybody gets the same like Disney experience. So if somebody came here 30 years ago and they're coming back today with their grandchild, they want to make sure that there's no difference between the Mickey that they met and the Mickey that their grandchild meets. Like it's very serious. Yeah, so it's like you can't speak. There's like it's like a lot of hand motions and kind of like acting in that way, parades, and just like hugging kids. Like it's like you kind of like create all these moments where it's just like you're hugging kids and they're freaking out. It was like a little girl one time was like, I've waited to meet you my whole life, and she's like 6. So I was like, yeah, it's crazy. And there was another girl too that she actually had lost her whole family to a couple of there was some tragic events that happened, and then there was some suicides that followed after that because of the car accidents that had happened. I don't remember. But it was crazy, and she lost her whole family, and she actually went mute, and she stopped speaking for years. And when she came to Disney with her grandmother and she met Pocahontas, she spoke to me, and I mean, I didn't think anything of it at first. She was just talking, and then the grandmother lost it, and
she just started bawling.
Yeah,
crying.
and we were like, why is she crying? She was like, you don't understand. Like she hasn't spoken words out loud for like years, and this is the first time. So it was just like stuff like that. I know where you're like, yo, like let me find out Disney out here making magical moments.
Yeah.
So I was into that. So it was just like, I went to school. I'm a creative writer. I work at Disney as a character performer, and then I'm also like this budding MC. I'm writing. I'm doing all the little ciphers around school. I'm doing the talent shows. So I was just a very creative child, and being in art school like cultivated that. So,
and I could see that through your music and everything that you put out. There's a lot of substance behind it.
Yes,
and that's what makes you different from a lot of the other female
yes
MCs
I find it difficult to like kind of like write about nothing, and I'm not getting at anybody because I actually think it's quite a skill to create feeling and stuff and not really like have a concept or a theme or anything. But for me, it's like I always have to be running with like a specific message, a mood, painting a picture, a portrayal of a certain event or something. It's just like it's very hard for me to just be like kind of random.
Just put a record out there.
Yeah, just put a record out and just talk about like how lit I am and just be, everything's about I'm so poppin'. It's like I think I'm popping, but I'm popping because of what I know. And I'm popping, it's like more of the reasons of why I think. It's not because, I'm a bad bitch and my outfit costs more than yours. That I'm not thinking on that frequency at all.
Was that kind of the inspiration for yourself to kind of move out of Florida and Orlando and come up north to New York? What made you just take that whole ship and just move all your shit and come up to NYC and have a dream like most of the rappers and MCs out here in New York have?
I mean, for me, there was several factors that pushed me to really go to New York City. I was essentially what you might call an LGBT runaway. Okay. So I don't want to get, too deep on it, but it's a very common problem. Okay. There's a lot of young people growing up trying to figure themselves out, not sure what their, sexuality is or just exploring that. And it's something that was very unaccepted in my household and wreaked a lot of havoc and made me be like unable to be under the same roof as my parents. So like many teens, which is what the story that I'm trying to bring to light, a lot of us start life as adults already being somewhat rejected and being, looking for love, looking for acceptance, looking for a place to call home when you kind of feel like where you come from isn't it. So there was a lot of personal dysfunction going on in my world, and I was clinically depressed at age 17. And then on a lighter note, I was also, you know, I'm listening to Slum Village, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Lauryn Hill. You know, that kind of music is what is inspiring my work. And I felt like where I was in Florida, that's not really the sound, you know, that we known for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm turning up to Peanut Butter Jelly and, you know what I'm saying, Trick Daddy, Trina, you know, that whole sound. But the real, that up top lyricism and all that
the music that speaks to you.
Yeah, the music that speaks to me wasn't really what was around me. So I kind of felt like I had to go somewhere where that would be appreciated and where, you know, people would take the time to really soak in, you know, what I'm doing. Even like the venues and stuff, like there weren't many places, like platforms to share my work beyond like clubs and stuff. So, you know, I wanted to do like the New Yorican Cafe and just stuff, you know, where it's just like I can get my finger snaps on. So all those things combined, I think being very unhappy and then having this promising situation, you know, being this like this artist who is kind of starting to get recognition for what I do. You know, I'm in the hallways and everybody's just like, yo, shorty with the raps. Dudes didn't want to go after me in a cypher, stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, like y'all feeling like rap Nitty. So I'm like, I could do this. And so all things just kind of pointed to New York, you know, all things pointed to just like, you know, I felt like if I didn't leave, I was going to kind of become like a product of all the things that were around me. You know, I really was just like, wow, I'm going to just like be a loser and I'm going to be, you know, depressed and working at a gas station. And like, I just had this like, this horrible vision of who I was going to be if I just stuck around. And, you know, and I believed in myself. I had something going for myself. You know, it wasn't really like I'm just going to go be adventurous and spontaneous or whatever. I had a plan, you know, so I left at age 17, which was really crazy, you know, like I withdrew myself out of school, enrolled myself in a new one.
Oh, before you graduated high school?
Yeah, I moved out here in the middle of my senior year, which had to be nothing but determination because in Florida, I was set to graduate. You know, if I would have just like finished out the rest of the classes that I had for that year, diploma in my hand, no problem. In moving to New York, because the grading systems are different, they sliced my credits in half. And it was like, it got so real when I got out here. Like, it was like, if you want to be class of '09, if you want to graduate on time, you're going to have to do night school. You know what I'm saying? So like, when I say like, I was 17 years old, out here in New York, no adults, nobody telling me what to do, nobody telling me to do my homework, get up, whatever the case may be. You know, when I'm getting up, I'm going to the John Jay School for Journalism from the morning to the afternoon. And then I would go to school in Canarsie from 6 to 9.
Hustling.
Like, you know what I mean? 17 years old, you know what I mean? So, and I was very determined.
Where were you staying at the time? I mean, did you have money when you came up here? Were you living with different people?
Nah, I didn't really have money. I had a little bit of bread from my Disney situation. And
I'm going to call you a Disney princess every time I see you.
I am a Disney. I'm the Afro-Latina Disney princess, Negrita. Y'all don't know about that movie, but it's coming out soon.
Why were you so pressed to get a diploma instead of just going straight into music and making it happen?
Because I didn't want my message to be that you should drop out of high school and become a rap star. I didn't want that to be my message, not to my brothers, to my little brothers and sisters, to my fans or anything. And, you know, so I guess I was just trying to make the point of like, you can go for it, but also kind of do the bare minimum. You know, a high school diploma is so important. I got my thoughts on college, but a diploma is very much the bare minimum, and I think it's just necessary to function in society nowadays. And I didn't want to, you know, be trying to like get a GED later or anything like that. I knew it was going to be more difficult because of the situation that I had put myself in, but I also knew that it was possible, and I wanted to prove that to people, where it's like, you know, you could be young, you could be out here on your own, but you can still have goals and accomplish them, you know? And I was just like, why can't I get my diploma and pursue rap at the same time? You know, why can't I? So I proved that to myself, and I did it.
And you sure did.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. Wow, I had no
And I'm
idea,
doing
Nitty.
it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's real stuff. It's real stuff. I went through a lot of stuff out here, though. You know, like, I didn't get to just dive into music, which I think was naive of me to think that I could really do.
I was gonna say, yeah, the dollar dream kind of feels
Very mentality
right?
was like, I'm just go out there. Like, I don't even know what I thought was gonna happen. I just knew that I had dreams and talent, and I knew that I was like a smart girl. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I'll figure it out. You know, I'll politic and do what I got to do. But I mean, it was at least a good 3 years before real things started happening for me with the music, which is, I think, just a part of my journey. I think just a part of my story. I think it.
So were you doing the typical, you know, trying to get into
grinding,
to shows and recording with people?
Nah,
and just putting,
when I got here,
tapes?
when I got here, it was like my first thing when I got here was Diploma. And then once that was out the way, I got slapped in the face with the reality of being a teenager in a big city with no support system. You know what I mean? Like, it just hit me, like, the regular things that you don't even think about because you live in mom and dad's house. So when you getting out of school, you kind of like, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna do my homework. Like, it's like things you just take for granted when, you know, you get out of school and it's like nobody's making you a meal tonight, nobody's picking you up and taking you anywhere, nobody's protecting you from people who want to harm you or lead you astray, nobody's guiding you, giving you, you know, proper advice. So I found myself struggling for the basics, where my next meal was coming from, how I'm gonna pay my rent, how I'm gonna get from A to B. I mean, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult. And I got very depressed. I lost a lot of weight at one point. I lost I think 15 pounds in a month. Like my parents saw me and they were scared. Like, they were like, what is happening to you out there?
During this whole time?
I did. Yeah, I did reconnect with them because I had to. Because it had gotten to this point of I was really living on a prayer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember at one time I was renting a room and it was in another family's house, and it was just me, and it just felt, I was so lonely. I was so lonely. And it was just them four walls. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have a laptop or a computer. It was me in that room all the time, dolo. And it was just really hard. And I remember, reaching out to my parents and telling them that even though, because I don't think I left with a big, you know what I mean? It was kind of I was definitely angry at them and, all that stuff, but they're still my parents. I still love them. They still love me. And I think they still want to see me win. I think they thought that maybe I wasn't going to be able to deal with New York and that I was going to come back. It was just oh, you're going to New York.
You're going to learn. You're young.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know nothing. You'll be back home.
So that was a factor too, where it's just I would let them know yo, it's real out here, but I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And I never did. To this day, I mean, I've gone back to visit and stuff, but I've never sought out the comfort of mom and dad's house ever again. And that's been my reality since I was 17 years old. But like I said, I think being so uncomfortable, being even not safe sometimes, being in legit dangerous situations, being around people who I don't trust, who, just don't have the best intentions for me, all of those things played a role in molding who I was before you actually were introduced to Nitty Scott. You get what I'm saying? So if y'all would have met me, hey, I just came here from Florida, I'm here to rap, you know what I'm saying? You would have got a different girl. But this city kind of chewed me up and spit me out. But that girl that got spit out was
fire.
Was fire and strong and aware and, definitely scarred. But those are the scars that I write about. Those are the scars that make people feel like they're not the only ones going through these things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've developed a full-blown PTSD. You know what I'm saying? I'm very open about it. You know what I'm saying? I got anxiety. I got issues. But in being so straightforward about that, I think it's just about representation. You know, I think it's just about, like, I'm not a part of the lie. I'm not here to tell you that, like, I'm lit all the time and everything. Like, it's like I'm here for that raw, real human experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I talk about. And I think that's what draws people to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't talk about the superficial because I'm plagued by the reality of life, and that's what draws me to create what I do, to make sense of the world and my emotions and my thoughts, and, you know, the process of me trying to organize that and create something beautiful out of it is what makes me who I am.
And I think the viewers at home are definitely going to get that feel. If you didn't know about Nitty Scott before and the way she
now
operates
you know.
in the mind, now you know. But you've done well for yourself, Nitty. I mean, even everything that you've gone through, like, and just to come out on top and just be a superwoman about it. You went ahead and created the Boombox family.
Yes.
You know, all these records linking up with Action Bronson, Kendrick Lamar, getting a lot of co-signs and all that.
All
It
my
just
favorite
went up and
rappers.
up.
You got Action Bronson, Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, and Styles P. Like, those are like four of like my favorite rappers, yo. And I got records with all of them. So it's amazing. And I mean, and like K-Dot and all of them, it's like, you know, I feel like they've only worked with like me and Rhapsody. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, like that's a statement. I'm one of them artists that's just like living out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever I'm going through and whatever's happening at the moment, that's what the album's about. That's what I'm dressing like. That's what I'm, you know, I reinvent myself. You know, I'm really big on exploring my identity as a woman and understanding, you know, who I am, and not really like stopping myself from being like, hey, I want to try this kind of music. I want to wear these kind of clothes. I want to go here. I want to try this kind of food. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm just doing that in the public eye. You know, there's things about me that I think are consistent, and there's other things that are very fluid, and I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not just selling you, like I'm not the same way all the time, so I'm not gonna sell you that, you know? And even though I think that that's easier, and it's really easy to be like, I'm a earthy bitch, I'm a ratchet bitch, I'm a da-da-da, I'm like, I'm all of that, I'm everything, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for that to exist, so.
And I think in hip hop too, they want to pinpoint, put women to one particular role in one category.
I was, you know, specifically told, for whatever it was worth, that there was no way I could come on a scene with my fists in the air talking about, you know, power to the people, I got something to say, and still be sexy and attractive. I was literally told that? I was literally coached to believe that those two things cannot exist. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I had to pick. I felt like it was like, okay, so like respecting hip hop or a liberated woman. Like, I was told that those two things cannot exist in one. So, you know, as a 19-year-old, not totally informed, not even totally aware of who I am, I just want to say what I got to say. You know, I think I rolled with those rules that were set in front of me. I rolled with them. I looked at them as like, well, you know, this is the game I'm trying to be a part of, and this is the person who's kind of ushering me into this game. This is what they're telling me. So I kind of felt like, well, if you want to be respected, you're gonna have to like really tone it down. And it's like 4 years later, after seeing so much and doing so much and putting in so much work and whatever, it's just like I had this, you know, this huge epiphany, you know, where it was just like, okay, so am I really in a culture that feels the need to strip me of my sexuality, to accept what I'm doing as real hip hop? To accept what I'm doing as talent? You know what I'm saying? Where once again, it's like, I'm not trying to boast, but it's like you could go down the resume real quick, and it's like, I don't think it's even a debate as to whether I'm talented, as to whether I'm, you know, even like I embody an MC in every way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no shade, but I see these people get on stage and play their record, like play the record and just kind of like vibe out to the record and stuff. Like that's not performing. That's not MCing. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, no. I'm not gonna be out here for 3-4 years giving y'all real MC shit. You know what I'm saying? A real live show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be out here having records with Kendrick and Action and blah blah blah, filling a void, giving people a voice. I'm not gonna be doing all of that, and for you to see me in a bodysuit and think that you could take me from here to here. That is disrespectful. That is the problem that I'm talking about. And I'm using myself as the martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, like I'm very like, y'all see this? Y'all see this? I see nonsense on Twitter. I retweet it. You know what I'm saying? Like peep game, y'all. Peep the constant, you know what I'm saying, need to devalue women that are out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just don't think it's debatable that I'm out here. So the fact that a lot of grown, woke, dike adults, you know what I'm saying, want to try to strip somebody of a rightfully earned title just because they're uncomfortable with whatever they looking at now, that's wild. That's wild, and that deserves a whole discussion surrounding how we treat women. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I can understand if you just see a contrast. I can understand if you're like, oh, you know, this doesn't look like this anymore. That's cool. But when I voice the fact that that is empowering to me, after that, it shouldn't be up to debate. But it still is, because women are silenced. You know what I'm saying? I could sit here and tell you, I could sit here and break down to you all the ways that this makes me feel empowered. This makes me feel liberated. This is me raging against the machine because this is my version of it, where another girl's version of it might be covering up. You get what I'm saying? You don't know what's radical for me. So when I tell you where I'm coming from and you still think that you can press your misogynistic, sexist views onto my narrative, like that's another exhibit A. Like I'm telling y'all. And it's funny too, because, you know, I plan on whatever, like I got a lot of other bigger, better things, you know, in store right now. And my thing is like, so if I was to sign to a record label or whatever the case may be,
because a lot of artists are being indie right now and just doing their own thing. I'm a little more open to it now than I was in the past, but it's still about a marriage that empowers what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I just, them situations can get so sticky. So like I'm proudly indie right now, but I'm open to the right situation. Okay. But yeah, but like if I would have gotten signed to this, you know, or came up on some bread or opportunity or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm sexy Nitty, then y'all would have came for me for that too. Then y'all would have said, oh, now that you going mainstream and now that you're being exposed to all these people, you know, you turning it up. So it's just, again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's kind of like, it's just like whatever you do, you know, there's going to be an opinion towards it. When I was carrying myself a certain way, there was like, oh, but you're so beautiful, and why don't you capitalize off of that? And oh my God, and you just, you know, I've got told many times that I should femme it up, you know what I'm saying? And then when I did so in my time, in my way, when I was ready, people came at
then
you.
It was backlash as well. So I'm like, I see what this is, you know, I see what this is. And like I said, apparently there's no right way or right time to change as a woman in this culture. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, whatever. If y'all think that I'm gonna be on the same thing that I was in 2010 and 2016, like, you bugging. I'm not stagnant. I'm gonna continue to change. And even if you don't like this version of me, like that's cool too, because I might not even be her in 2 years. Like I don't make no promises to none of y'all. I'm not here for y'all. You know what I mean? Like right. I'm just not, you know. So, you know, and I just hope that somewhere, you know, a young girl hears that and takes it in, you know, and takes it in, because I didn't have nobody telling me that when I was 19. I didn't have nobody telling me that, you know, you can be whatever you want. You know, it was always about, well, what will they think? What will they say? You know, or a moment of, I even had a moment of, somebody telling me, well, Nitty Scott wouldn't do that. Nitty Scott wouldn't say that. And I'm like, who?
So you wouldn't do that.
And I'm like, who is this bitch Nitty Scott? Like that, like that's me. That's me.
Right.
And they just like, nah, like Nitty Scott wouldn't move like that. And I'm like, I don't know who this character is that you've created for me, but if I say something or do something, it's because I wanted to say or do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, like it's just a lot of growth. Like I said, when I was 19 years old, I think I'm a runaway, you know what I'm saying? I'm in this big city where I'm certainly being trampled on. I have somebody telling me that, you know, they understand this game and can really help me to move in it. And, you know, I think I just accepted something that was very problematic. And now, you know, at 25, even when I started, it's like, y'all know me to always have a message. I always have a message. I'm always challenging things. So it's kind of like, it's all under the same umbrella, because in the beginning, I think people felt like I was challenging the idea that you had to be naked to get respect. And now I'm challenging the idea that you have to be clothed to get respect.
I love that.
Do y'all not see that it's all the same thing? Do y'all not see that it's all feminism? It's all empowerment. It's all about whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's not the opposite. It's the same thing.
Right.
So
and it must have teared at your soul.
Yeah, no, it hurt.
It
hurt in the beginning. It really hurt. Like I really felt like, dang, like after all that praise, you know, after all that respect that I've earned, like y'all really gonna try to take it away because it's packaged differently. Mm-hmm. Like that hurt me so bad, and I felt like, you know, even through the art and through the music, like I give you all of me. I give you, you know, the most intimate parts of me. So it hurt, but then it turned into like a mission, you know what I'm saying? Like I've always felt like somebody who's been in pain. I've always felt in pain. And
do you still feel that now? A person in pain? Or do you think you've gone beyond that point?
I think I'm healing, but I'm a sad girl for sure. Like it's just a part of, I think, where I come from. And, you know, so because of that, it's like I'm gonna be targeted, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, all right, like I gotta understand what I'm doing here, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like you going against the grain. I could have kind of like stayed in the comfort of being accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to give off the wrong idea too. Like, you know, like a bunch of people have been like, we don't fuck with you no more. Cause like my fans, shout out to y'all. I love y'all. They on deck. You know what I'm saying? It's very like, it's few and far in between or whatever. I could have seen that like, wow, you know, thousands of people, like, you know, they feeling me. So I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do anything to make anybody withdraw their support. You know what I'm saying? I could have done that. And that's my thing, where it's just like, so can you not respect the realness? Can you not respect the authenticity that you claim to want to see in the people who, you know, are moving in the public eye? You claim to want this authenticity, but when I do something and I tell you it's really true to me and where I'd like to be, you think we can have a conversation about it. You think you can criticize me. You think you can shame me. And it's like, so you don't want the real then. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm just like, so then maybe I should be a little more aware of what your appetite is, because your appetite is not for the real. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would continue to just be somebody who I wasn't, y'all would respect that.
Right.
Would you respect me, you know, walking around, portraying this, portraying that, and then going behind closed doors and being like, I'm so miserable, I hate this, I don't want to be this person.
Right.
I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, years into this, man, I'm not green no more. Like, I'm not green no more. I think some of the very naive expectations, even disappointments and everything, like, I'm just in a whole new space, and I understand what I'm fighting against. I understand the politics and the system. I understand that I am a Black and Puerto Rican woman trying to break barriers in music, and that comes with layers of bullshit. I progress every day, every week, every month. The opportunities get bigger, the stages get bigger. the music gets better. I think I'm like writing at my peak right now. I can't imagine how I'm going to be writing a year from now, or whatever the case may be. I'm always sharpening my blade, getting nicer, getting closer to making the perfection that I envision myself being able to make. So it's all good. It's all good. Like,
that's right.
It's all good, because whenever something occurs, I call it out for what it is. I call it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people be following my little tweets and stuff, but like, you know, I spazzed on somebody the other day for hitting me with the sexist bullshit. Like, I'm just going to call it out, make sure everybody sees what it is, and not internalize it. You know what I'm saying? And not internalize, because it's not personal. It's not personal. This is how y'all treat all women. So, you know, if I got to be the one to kind of take some hits so that I can break that barrier, and so I can, you know, show people what it really is, then so be it. So be it. People hate, like, whatever. They hate when you
They
like,
hate you do anything.
Right. People hate everything.
You
know
a
what I'm saying?
female and you in hip hop, you're just
like,
gonna get hate.
Whatever. And that's why I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna create. Y'all consume. Y'all talk about it. I'm gonna create.
That's right. Gems upon gems, Ms. Nitty Scott. And you know what? All that fire in you and all the, you know, this activism, this activist inside of you, I could see a lot of that in the next person, the next thing that you said you're inspired by.
Yes.
Miss Stevie Nicks.
Yes. Okay.
One and only Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. So that was interesting to me when you sent that over. I was like, really, Stevie?
Okay. So we have these 2 Stevie Nicks albums, which are amazing. Actually, these are actually two like best of albums. These aren't the actual albums themselves, but my homegirl got me these for my birthday. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was just dope, because it's like, that's a really personal gift. That's a real, like, you know who I am. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have these joints. But I don't know. I grew up listening to Fleetwood Mac. I used to go through all my father's records, to go through all his vinyl. And he was always playing like a lot of soul shit, like just like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Sam Cooke, stuff like that. I grew up on like really, really good classic music. But I remember finding Fleetwood Mac and putting it on and being like, okay, like I was just like, this is different. Mm-hmm. And I just fell in love from there. Like, just her, she's so like mysterious. Mm-hmm. And witchy, and like I'm drawn to all of that like brujeria stuff. Like, it's always been my wave. Yeah, I don't know, Stevie, man. Stevie Nicks. My favorite joint is Rhiannon, for sure.
Well, that's a classic right there.
Yeah, Rhiannon is the joint. Dreams is fire. Mm-hmm. Edge of 17. I love Everywhere. Little Lies. It's just a lot of, it's a lot of gems. I love them. I'm really sad I didn't get to see them at Madison Square Garden. Like, I think it was like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. They was doing a tour, and I really wanted to go, but I couldn't.
So this is one of the women that you actually draw inspiration from when it comes to writing and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Absolutely. I always like, it's nothing for me to actually play some Stevie or something before I'm gonna like get on my writing stuff. Mm-hmm. She just gets me in a mood, like in a vibe. And then their story is very interesting. Just all the like the love triangles and all that stuff that was going on between them. Very druggy.
Well, of course,
the
70s and 60s.
Yeah,
back
like
then,
real psychedelic. I'm a huge Stevie Nicks fan. I'm actually probably her biggest fan.
Stevie, if you're watching this, please, make a record
I love you, Stevie.
I should make a record together. That'd be ill.
That would be everything.
I think that's so cool, because
I would feel like I could just quit rap after that.
After that, that's it. Nobody else. Just have Stevie.
Stevie.
No, but that's real ill, because I'm sure people at home are probably expecting someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of things, but
she's your go-to.
Stevie is bae, man. I don't know. That's mother.
And finally,
okay,
this lovely man right here. I'm going to have you talk about him, Buddha. Buddha. Which was what else I thought was very interesting as well.
Yes, who was also known as Siddhartha. So this is my little Buddha statue. I keep him in the crib and, rub his head for good luck, rub his belly and stuff.
Is that true? My mom says that. I'm not really Buddhist like that, but she said it helps.
Who knows? Who knows? But I'm my thing too is like, I wouldn't say that I'm a Buddhist. I think there's even a debate as to, you know, if you can totally call Buddhism a religion. Because Buddhism, it also I don't know, I'm was drawn to it for so many different reasons. But just to give you some, like, I guess, perspective, I was raised in like a very religiously haywire family. So, you know, like at one point in time, there was like, my mom was a Christian, my pops was Jehovah's Witness, my grandmother was Catholic, and my brother was a Muslim.
Wow.
And we were all like at the same time.
At home.
Right. So growing up, I think I was very confused about,
I can see why. It's 4 different religions going on at home.
It was just like, what is the truth? What should I believe? What are the consequences of not picking the right one? I mean, it was like such existential anxiety, like straight anxiety about the big questions that I think when you explore it a little more, it is the core of all of our problems. All of our problems, I think, boil down to this big, like, who are we? Why are we here? Life and death. What happened? What matters? What doesn't? Existential things, questions about our existence and our condition. So if you don't have a fundamental belief there, I think it can be hard to get through life sometimes. And so just being around a lot of rigid religions that were very, like, to me, very exclusive, very like, oh, we don't fuck with these kinds of people. I saw a lot of problematic things that I, felt just didn't sit right with me. So I think I naturally gravitated to the teaching that is more, it's a very chill, accepting religion. It doesn't, you're not required to go make other people Buddhist. You're not required to go fight people who aren't, or kill people or anything like that. It's a very peaceful, accepting religion. It also encourages critical thinking, which I think just doesn't exist in a lot of other ones, where it encourages you to think. It even encourages you to question Buddhism if you want to. Question everything. Don't ever decide that because it's infinite. The possibilities of what the truth is are infinite. And, it just spoke to me, and it just brought me great peace, helped me to resolve a lot of things that were really challenging in my life. I incorporated meditation and yoga and all these other things that helped me to get my anxiety in order. But, and then to the point that, people start calling me Lil Buddha and stuff. So, I would say too that and then the Art of Chill album came from that. The Art of Chill album was literally born from my like discovery of Buddhism and how it was affecting me. And so like the whole concept of that album is almost like a big one long meditation session. So it's kind of like the meditation starts in the beginning, and then you go, all the music kind of represents all the feelings, thoughts, and visions that you might experience. And then at the end, the meditation wraps, and you kind of come out of it with like full enlightenment, which is just the concept for the
Makes
album.
Makes a lot of sense now that I think back on it.
Yeah, so that's where it came from. And I always tell people too, it wasn't called the Art of Chill, and I'm not called Little Buddha because I'm actually like the chillest person on earth. It was actually because I'm the opposite. Because I saw myself as a person who was very like had a lot going on inside, had a lot of chaos inside. And sometimes, I would act on it, sometimes I would have just whatever little outbursts and shit like that. So it helped me to cope, it helped me to cope. It helped me to find my chill. So that's why I called it the art of chill, because it was the art of finding a place inside of yourself that is calm, and that can stay calm no matter what craziness is going on around. So,
and you need that in this industry, damn it, because that sense of calm, there's always chaos around you. There's just so much going on.
The lifestyle is crazy. And I mean, honestly, the industry, I see so much like mental illness in this industry. It's just not even funny. And I wouldn't say it's like encouraged per se, but it's something that people will continue to let it be. If you are making the hits, if you're making the money, if you feeding the people around you, sometimes it's like, they'll allow you to have that addiction. They'll allow you to have that mental issue that, because for artists, it's a tricky thing. Like creative people. Sometimes that aspect of us is what makes us so great. I mean, it's hard to say because I don't want to say that these things are positive per se, but I will just say that a lot of artists, we need extra attention and care to function at our best. And when we do that, it is beyond worth it. And what we give back to the world is beyond worth it. But we have to take care of ourselves first. And Buddhism helps me to do that.
Nitty Scott is her name, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
There's just so many layers to you. There's
I know I ramble a lot.
No. But what you said, it's from your heart and how you really feel. So I think a lot of girls watching this right now at home can feel inspired by someone like you.
I hope so.
Believe and coming out of a chaotic home and then just rising to the top and still rising.
Thank you. Yes.
Dope music coming out. Yes. Music with Bodega Bams and Joel Ortiz.
So everybody get No Panty. That's the new mixtape out.
Love it.
Bodega Bams, Joel Ortiz, produced by Salam Remy. And then I got the Creature EP coming soon. Okay. I don't have a exact date for that, but that is just one magical adventure that I am ready to take everybody on very soon.
I love it. And every time I listen to music, I'm just going to think of it a different way. It's kind of like the progression of Nitty that we're all
it has some context now,
I love it. So Nitty, now that we got the women empowerment thing out the way, I hope you're into games.
Yes, let's have some fun.
Do you like games?
I love games.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little game with this Disney princess right here. That's what I'm always call her.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you look at the screen, okay? So Nitty, you ready to play this game?
I'm ready.
Okay, so two things gonna pop up, all right? It might be sneakers or heels, and if you like sneakers, you say sneakers.
Okay.
Very simple, all right?
Okay.
You ready?
That one would be tough, but okay.
Let's do it.
Right.
So here we go.
This or that. You could get with this.
You could get with that. Hey, black sheep. Orlando or New York City?
New York City, for sure.
Empanadas or cornbread?
Oh my God.
Line on the record.
Oh, y'all making me choose between my cultures right now. This is not fair. Mm-hmm. All right, I if I had to choose, it was like a gun to my head. Empanadas.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right. MP3s or cassette tapes?
I mean, nah, I MP3. Like, I love the nostalgia of the cassette tape, but like, where you really playing that? No, MP3.
Not no more. Make a record with Lauryn Hill or Jean Grey?
Oh, guys. I guess Lauren. But I love you, Jean. I love you so much. But Lauren is definitely just a queen to me. Yeah, Lauren.
Okay. No shade to you, Jean. She loves
Zero
you.
Shade. Zero shade. We should do a posse cut with all three of us, but that's not an option.
Fire. All right. On an off day, are you more likely to catch you on the block chilling or smoking and chilling in the crib?
Smoking and chilling in the crib every day. That is my wave. Like, I tell people this all the time. Like, I like to be, I'm a homebody. I like to smoke. Yeah.
And which brings me to the next question. Are you more of a blunt girl or do you do bongs?
Yeah, backwoods all day. I strictly smoke blunts, but backwoods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you are you the type of girl that wears no panties or panties?
This is so cute. Okay. Well, we actually were talking about this the other day. I'm no panty for real, and it's not even like on some creep shit. It's just like no panty is the way to go for so many reasons. Ladies, you keep it fresh. Like sometimes just being too enclosed in there is literally not healthy for your vag. Mm-hmm. So
because we get sweaty and everything.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. I'm really team no panty. I think it's more comfortable. I think it's more healthy for you, and I think originally we was all running around this bitch naked anyway. So
no panty.
Know what I mean?
Okay. Flower Child or Auntie Maria's crib?
Oh boy. Oh my God.
No one's gonna try to get you on this.
I'm gonna have to go with Flower Child.
Boombox Diaries or The Art of Chill?
Oh, actually, this one is not as difficult.
Oh.
Definitely The Art of Chill.
Kick it with Dorothy and Oz or Alice in Wonderland? These are lines from her songs
trippy.
too,
Those are two trippy bitches. Yeah, because I be puffing Mary Jane with Dorothy and Alice. Hey, I would have to say Alice.
Deeper meaning to you. This is all Buddha's quotes, okay?
Okay.
If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down, or the mind is everything, what you think you become.
I would say the mind is everything, what you think you become, because that's been a very consistent theme in my life.
More attractive, someone who's creative or someone who's confident?
Someone who's creative, for sure.
Have you running away on a first date? Bad breath or someone that's cheap?
Which is worse?
Or have you running away like, I'm good?
I think maybe bad breath would be worse.
Yeah.
Because, no, I'm sorry. I think being cheap would be worse.
Okay.
Because bad breath can like be taken care of, you know.
Well,
it is an indication of like what's good with your hygiene, but it can really be like
Yes.
but it could be a matter of, you know, whatever, you ate something crazy, you know, and that's just what happens. Being cheap, that could be like, you know, your actual personality trait, you know,
Just
where
cheap
it's like
life.
right, like this is something I continue to deal with. Where hopefully having bad breath, like that's just like an isolated incident and not like a thing.
Trap rap or backpack rap?
Nah, I love both. I can't.
You gotta pick one.
No, oh my God.
Had to.
Okay, to choose between these would be totally like so
Yes,
counterproductive to like what I've been trying to say lately, which is that you don't have to choose between these things and that they're both hip hop and it's just an evolution.
Okay, how about this one? What would you catch yourself listening to more?
I guess I'm gonna go with backpack rap just because that's the OG hip hop. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Number one album in the country or win a Grammy?
Grammy for sure.
Worst female MC stereotype. You don't write your own lyrics or you slept your way to the top.
I would say slept your way to the top.
When creating a song, what's more important, the flow or the wordplay?
The flow, for sure.
Now, if you were stuck on an island forever and you had to pick between Bodega Bams or Joel Ortiz, who would you pick? And Joel is somewhere in the building too.
Oh my God.
Who would be more fun to kick it with?
I'll probably kill Bodega Bams, to be honest. Nah, like that's my nigga. But we be going at it sometimes. So because I wouldn't want to kill or be killed, I'll probably rock with Joel. Joel, yeah, he's a funny guy, man. He's funny, he's chill. I really think he's one of the greatest lyricists. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like Latino, all that stuff, it's just a bonus that, you know, he happens to be one of us. But I really think he's one of the more talented lyricists of our time. So I would just like chill with him and be like, yo, like help me like get as nice as you. Like we on this island, we not going nowhere. Might as well just school me.
And just kick it. Let's just rap and do this thing.
Might as well just bars over coconuts. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, those are both my niggas though, for real. No panty all day.
Nitty, thank you so much for taking part in
Thank
this
you.
or that. You're super dope. And make sure you cop the album No Panty with
Yeah.
Bodega Bams, Nitty Scott, and Joel Ortiz. And now, Nitty's not done.
We're not.
She's about to set the studio on fire with her bars.
And flowers.
And flowers as well, yes. and pay attention because I love this record because there's a little snippet of one of my favorite Disney flicks in the beginning of it.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Yo. What up, Peace Coast? It's the Hija de Flores. Nitty Scott, shout out to them flowers, yeah, they give me superpowers. Have me smelling like I took a marijuana shower. I'ma cut the backwoods, fill them with the dower. I just hit the plug, nigga, fuck you mean an hour. Be about your paper, I'm just trying to blow the vapor. Trying to have my city niggas fucking with the nature. Acting on sedity, you just never met your maker. I can taste the sounds, nigga, I can hear the flavors. Fantasy whales, brujeria and chill. Triple visions and I'm missing if my prism is real. Let my nigga man whip it, he got magical mills. And if you fucking with the feeling, I could get you a deal. More drink, roll dank for the flowers. Everybody know I got a thing for the flowers. More dubs, whole club, yay for the flowers. Catch a nigga all day. Okay, me, I'm on that dope shit. We don't smoke no average. I be puffin' Mary Jane with Dorothy and Alice. Playing in her garden, fluent in my dragons. I just pop another one, I think I'm Zoe Kravitz. Goddamn, I'm tweaking. Took your teepee, I'm chiefin'. Goddamn, these animals all zanned out when they geekin'. Shorty rockin' rose gold, roll up purple heels. She gon' have them on that lavender and rockin' daffodils. Decorating with doom, got peyote, got shrooms. I just walked inside the room and they in love with the fumes. I can take you to the moon, but I don't come with a broom. Just pull up with all the flowers, go to church with the goons. Roll dames for the flowers. Everybody know I got a thing for the flowers. More dubs, whole club, yay for the flowers. Catch a nigga all day looking for the flowers, for the flowers.